Alright, let's stand back up. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just going to hit up the trees in this area. This will be fine. I have planted some. Get rid of that. I've finally got a shit ton of plant fibers. I really want to repair that before I start, but I'm going to keep going for a bit. I don't need it to be stacked up that far. I just want to see how many I can make. There we go. Let's get these trees done. And it's a little bit ahead of time, so that's great. Plenty of trees, just not all of them are close together. That lot are. I might have planted that one, because that's not a lot. There's a healthy batch of trees over here. Yeah, that's a maximum tree. Usually what happens is when I harvest a lot of woods, I usually run around and plant all the seeds for it too. Oh yeah? What's that? Oh, there. Alright. Let's save that for later. Yeah, usually I go around and like replant the forest afterwards. Which is pretty good, because like I normally just run in like a straight line, so everybody can fucking tell where I've been. Quite funny. Also, occasionally the tree can come down in a way that launches you. Some of these are damaged. That's a good cluster up here. I can kind of go back this way. Get up here. Yeah, so, turns out that warheads were like $1 at the store the other day. So I bought a pack, and I think I may have put maybe 10 through my mouth, and my whole mouth is just raw now. Like, my tongue and the roof of my mouth are both raw at the same time. But I have no more warheads. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it sounds like rubber, right? It sounds like plastic or something. This is the only thing that bothers me. This used to sound absolutely awesome. Like, you used to really get into trees and it sounded amazing. But then they upgraded it a couple of years ago, and it sounded like this weird plasticky sort of noise, and you're like, what the fuck? So like when we go to harvest trees, usually myself, I tend to turn down the sound. Like if I'm just in like a harvesting mood and I wasn't streaming, I would probably turn my headset volume down most of the way and just deal with the fact that I'd put turrets in the area and have them go off to like alert me of like any zombies and stuff like that. Because that would be more efficient than listening to this. Especially in some of my massive forests that I've had, which, like, and let's see, where's a city? Okay, so let's say there's a city like this, okay? So what I would do is at the end here, this whole section out here would just be littered with trees. So all these little dots are like stones and minerals and shit, right? You just imagine this whole area is just dotted with trees instead. And you can't go anywhere near it. Like, nobody else on the server could go near it because it just absolutely dumped their ability to render anything. But that's what I generally do, is I have like a massive tree farm. And I'm one of the only people that bothers to do this stuff. But yeah, it ends up having me sit there planting trees for like an hour and then cutting trees down for an hour or two. You know, same kind of thing. It is kind of comedic, and that's, I think, unfitting is the best way to say it, yeah. Because it's the only thing in this game, as much as this is like, you know, a fantasy, is
Here we go again.
Grim. Welcome in, Grim. It's really the only thing in this game that doesn't really, like, fit into this world is the sound of, like, harvesting trees. Mate. And considering all the things in this world, that's the one thing that doesn't fit. Mind you, if you hit certain... You get the auger out and you hit certain materials as well, you get some really wild sounds with some of them too. How you going, Grim? You can see purple hair's been activated. Oh yeah, there's a commands list you can play with, Grim. I'll have to remember to keep updating that. I also want to make an alerts list. So far I've only got sound alerts extensions. I haven't actually got Twitch cheer alerts and bit alerts and stuff like that, but I am starting to look into and like work on that. So as I start to make those, I'll make a list, same like my commands list, that you guys can access and like see what you can call forth. So yeah, that'll be the next thing, but I'm not doing it until next week. I need a break. I need a break from after stream work for a little bit. I didn't actually have time to do my uploads to YouTube and stuff earlier today, so I had to do that right before stream. That's the kind of like level of extra work on stuff I'm doing at the moment. Is like I work till 10 a.m, which is pretty late considering I started at like 7:30, and it was 7:30 p.m. Worked through to about 10, and then I went to sleep, and then I was back here. So I had 3 games on Plunder. First game was first place, and second place and third you came 4th. That's not bad. At least you guys are getting like more involved in like the looting system and stuff like that. First place is pretty good. I haven't seen that on the new one. Nick and I are generally like in the old Plunder, Warzone 1 Plunder. We were basically a fucking unstoppable team, just the 2 of us. You go into quads, trios, whatever, and it would still be Nick and I that would basically win. Like, Nick would take down the people, he'd loot a bit, I'd loot like all hell, and we'd win the game. Like, I'd get probably over, I think one of my screenshots was like over 1 million in-game cash that I found. Just myself, nobody else in the squad. And yeah, in Plunder at the moment, all I find is everybody goes hard for like killing people, but nobody actually like secures the cash or takes it anywhere. And that frustrates me, because like I like DMZ, because if you encounter players, you have to either like fight them and get back up, or stay up, or whatever, to get out with your shit. It's kind of like an achievement to it. But Plunder is just kind of like rinse and repeat. The guy's dead, but now he's parachuting back in on you. I think the redeploy is a little bit too fast on the new Warzone. It kind of prevents you from being able to get away. But either way, I like the fact that they've got new versions and stuff. I've seen some of the pictures for DMZ's Season 3 or 4 or whatever it is. Is it 4 now? It's looking pretty good. There's all sorts of stuff. There's going to be like a joint game mode or whatever, where you can have like your operators can acquire stuff across multi-game types. So, you know, if storage is your thing, operators are your thing, you can work towards that. And it applies to all of it, which I think would be good, because I think that applies to a lot more people's interests. Is this tree seriously inside this rock? Right, we can get it. Right, yeah, that's a little sus. Going first, you gotta loot and engage people, but trick is not to keep diving back in if everybody's dying. If you start losing, let's just move on. Yeah, that is the hardest thing, is getting everybody to collectively move if something's going on, because the basic human instinct to take revenge is there. Like, you want to get back at the person that's just like annoyingly killed you, which is not the best way to like deal with it. That's the way to get distracted and ingrained in the game. much wood have I got? It's pretty good. I'm not going to be replanting stuff. That little spot there. I've got 3 stacks at the moment. I would like probably 4. There's not going to be a lot more trees. There'll be a few more trees and I'll head back over and I'll keep building up Blood Moon Tower. I'll be doing a lot of like the upgrades at night, and if it is day 140, it will go red once it hits midnight, I think. So we'll know straight away whether or not it's Blood Moon tomorrow or if it's Blood Moon the day after that, because I'm pretty sure it's either 140 or 141. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure this is only like the 5th Blood Moon that I've had on this map. Because, like, it's multiples of 28. It's barely ever come up. It's going to be so wild having to deal with multiples of 7 in the next game match. Like, not having the ability to jump off tall buildings and not die or break a leg. Not having glass to eat. Being hungry all the time, having to scavenge for food, and yeah, God forbid, having to deal with... What the fuck? What? Search tree mountain pine dry. Meters untouched. What the fuck? You can search trees? Really? What? Hey guys, I found a new thing. Another new fucking feature they've snuck in to Alpha 20 at the moment, before Alpha 21, is you can search trees. Holy shit. I'm guessing it must be like dry trees. What's another one? There's one. Let's go check out this one. That looks like that. That one over there looks like it too. Can I search this? No? Maybe. This one can't be searched. What's so special about this one? Oh my god, I'm going to put boxes around the base of it. Why is this one special? I don't see anything specific about it. Stop these for a second. I need not a cobblestone one. I just need a standard frame shapes. Give me 8 of those. Should be fine. Swap you. There. Let's just make sure nobody fucks with this tree. There we go. Okay. Special tree. Alright. Well, that was fucking wild. This is what happens if you don't do shit in this game. Now I want to, like, find out, like, do I get special shit from, like, punching stuff? Like, can I inspect the grass? I need to know these things. The grass probably has, like, nothing, but how many trees did I have to take down to find that? I'm curious if they're gonna look like that. Like, I don't know if Grim's still lurking around, but like when he comes back, I'll have to remember whatever time this is for him to like go back and have a look at. He's gonna want to see that. What the fuck? I'm so bemused. I've never seen anything like that. Now there. Pine seed, oak seed. Yeah, I don't need the seeds. We're getting a good amount of honey. These can stack up since I'm got kind of enough of them at the moment. Huh. So I'm curious about a few things at the tree scenario in this game now. Beyond that, there used to be a thing where when you mined like little half trees like that, or like cut down trees, you get honey. If you plant something like this, that one went down really easy. Hey, Shadow. Welcome in. I just discovered a special tree that I could loot. The thing is, when you used to plant the seeds, if you planted enough of a certain type of tree, you changed your kind of like biome spawn in that vicinity. And what would happen is you would start spawning certain types of like wildlife native to that area. Like, for instance, if you plant enough redwoods, I think these ones, you get like dogs. No, those ones, I think you get dogs. These ones are okay. Yeah, these ones give you fucking dog packs. The other ones give you, I think, wolf packs. The snow trees give you... What are the snow animals? I actually haven't planted enough of the snow trees to find out that, actually. But burnt trees end up planting normal trees. Even if you plant them in the burnt area, they still spawn as normal trees. Like, there's all sorts of shit involved with the trees, as is. Like, there's, like, so many little, like, micro features and stuff just to learn. Well, for instance, if you play, like, what's it? Don't Starve Together. Like, you get, like, the swamp biomes and stuff like that, right? And, sometimes that can kind of, like, spread out a little bit. Or StarCraft. StarCraft's a better example, actually. Where you get, if you play as a certain type of character or whatever, it expands. That's not what this does. Generally what happens is if you plant trees, if you plant enough trees, the animals will spawn with it. So for instance, when I was in the desert, I had my desert base, and I planted 300 plus trees, I ended up getting bears and wolves and dogs, all those things spawning, when I should have been getting like the coyotes and snakes and shit like that. So that was a surprise. That was my first time learning that. I never repeated it because I went in there and found like multiple packs of dogs, which I was not okay with, because if some of these trees are low-lying enough, you can't really see the base, or it's very dark underneath and you can't see very far. Yeah, desert trees, desert bears, maybe. It'd be cool if they brought in like different kinds of like bears and shit for different areas. Not even that, but just like, oh man, can you imagine if they brought in like, what is it, the roller bears or something? Yeah, like the caramelly coloured ones. Those would be nice. But those in the desert just for like shits and giggles. Okay, I really want to like find another tree. Like, this thing looks different to me, but it's probably not. It's probably not a special tree. Like that. Where was it? I think it was like over there somewhere. Where am I? Where the fuck am I? I'm all the way over here. Okay, so if that's the case, where am I facing? Ah, it's back over there. Yeah, over that way has like a special tree now. Yeah, well, it is really great because like if you're in a desert and you don't get a lot of food out there, probably the best thing to do is to just plant a bunch of trees and you instantly get like a shit ton of animals. The only problem with it is that if you're playing with a group of people, it might kill their frame rates. Here you go. He'll probably get back up. I got the XP for it. It's fine. Okay, well that's probably enough trees. I've got multiple stacks now. So yeah, it's time to head back up here. See what I can do. Where's my bike? That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I'll head back up here and I'll start doing some of the repairs and shit. Yeah, what I found was it was a really great way to get like bears. I haven't like managed to spawn like any zombie bears specifically or anything like that. A little cluster over here. That was a small horde. It'd be kind of cool if you could take like, I thought, you know, if you could get like undead trees and shit like that, but like obviously can't plant a dead tree. But I have to like wonder what the fuck was up with that special tree. Like, I'm gonna have to look into that later. That was wild. That was wild for me because I'm like, what the fuck? I've mined literally thousands of trees before, and I have never found a special tree that's lootable. I'm gonna have to get my pliers for this place too. Prepare to get groceries today, and all of a sudden the heaviest downpour possible. Oh no! Oh man. No, that. Why can't I loot that? E? Okay, glitchy thing. No, I hope it, I guess there's nothing you can really do. If you've got to go out and get groceries, you have to go out and get groceries. This looks like it's built up. This was where I was building up stuff. Yeah, okay. So this has all been built up. So downstairs shouldn't be hollow anymore. And I was definitely cobblestoning stuff. So, where the rain haunted me yesterday went. Yeah. That was pretty bad for you. Definitely. Mind you, like, I'd love to have even, like, just a light rain or something here. Like, just anything. Winter is so dry. Yeah, I have cobblestone. Winter is, like, notoriously dry in Australia. I'm not really one that likes it. I know a lot of people hate the rain, and or like cold, hot weather and stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't really care. I like the rain, and I like hot weather, warm weather. Don't send it my way. Yeah. See, the funny thing is, is that all? Oh, that's already cobblestone. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, see, I like warm weather or summer sort of weather. The only problem is that I am anemic. So when it gets like really hot, I can just faint. Like that's really the only downside to it. And that's mostly probably from medications more so than anything else affecting it. Because I never really used to have a problem. I know you like winter, Grim. We're discussing potentially having 2 summers in Australia and 2 winters in Poland. Oh, Polish. Is Polish Poland? I'm sorry, I'm fucking geographically challenged as well. I should probably check that shit before I just say things. I can upgrade this. Oh, you love the rain and the heat, but you're too lazy to probably dress for rain. Sweet. Awesome. Last thing I want to be doing is like sitting here saying shit and it being 100% inaccurate, because I just need to look at a map a little bit more frequently. Give me this. Oh, Grim, since you're back, I found a lootable tree. Have you ever seen a lootable tree? I was chopping down wood over in the Greenland near my bedrock mine, and I came across a tree that had an inventory. No joke. Because as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen one. Oh, this hasn't been upgraded. Weak spots. Okay. I would say most of this place is upgraded. I'm just trying to get it, like, maybe to about here high, all the way around. I'll have to fill in some bits, but it'll be fine. Yeah, it's the same height. Let's make sure it's all the same height around here. Yeah, that's what I was seeing here. Is I don't think I've ever seen one. There's Poland for Australia is probably like Albania for Poles. Might as well be mythical, non-heard of. No, it's more of like, you know how like bad I am with like direction in most games. I'm generally that kind of way in life anyway. Wasn't particularly good at geography, and it shows pretty frequently. Just one of those things. It's one of those things that's just about me. I'm just not. I'm not the best at like directions, and like up until my last job, I didn't even know my local areas that well. Like if I got off one of the main roads that I know, I would be lost. I would be lost as fuck. And no joke. Like it's not even It's not even like it's an issue. Um, I'd have to pull out a GPS to fix it though. Also, if you end up getting like the thing that says like moderators allowed this or something like that, just refresh your browser. I don't see it, but I keep getting told that when I allow things, it spams people with that shit every time they talk. Should be quite high enough with cobblestone. Yeah, I must admit, I'm so fucking terrible with directions. Like, I'm not as bad as one of my friends that I've known that's literally like somebody gave her directions and she turned around and actually walked in the opposite direction to where they just gave her pointed directions to. I'm not that bad, but I am bad enough that like I get very stressed very easily about like not knowing where things are. So a lot of the time it's easier for me to just not stress about where things are by not learning where they are, you know. How can you be stressed about it if you're ignorant to it, basically? But it's not the best way to live. My last job was one of those ones where like you had to kind of know where stuff was to allocate it out properly, and I had no idea where most stuff was, and they were always like, how do you not know this? It's right next to like your suburb. I'm like, well, I haven't had a need to look at a Refidex in like, I don't know, 10 years. And I don't look beyond my search for like a trip. So, you know, if it's not between A and B direction on a Google Maps trip, then I'm not going to see it and know it's there. You managed to get lost on a straight road. Oh my god. You and me. Look, my partner knows how bad I am with directions and like taking like directional advice and stuff while I'm driving and stuff. And so he knows, right? And he's seen it firsthand how bad I am. And so one day his mum asked me if I could drive her to pick up her car. And she started giving me directions that were 2 or 3 ahead of whatever the thing was. And before I knew it, we got to a corner and she's like, there's like 2 split off sort of roads. And she's like, oh, you take the first left or some shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I took the first left. There were 2, right? So I took the first one and she's like, that's the wrong one. And I'm like, it's literally the first left. Like, I'm very literal about driving. And, she's just like, oh my god. And I'm like, look, I have no fucking idea where I am now, so I'm 100% relying on you. She's just like, what? And I'm like, yep. She's like, wow, I understand what like Nick was talking about now. I'm like, look, he wasn't exaggerating. I wasn't lying. I am not good with directions. Like, you want me to like get here without a GPS? You're asking for being lost and stressed. No, but I do that stuff too. I do it fucking all the time. So like, if I'm playing a game and I'm running in the wrong direction, it might be worth just like mentioning if I'm running away from a circle that I'm supposed to be in, because I might not even know. And sometimes I just like see where I am and misread where the arrow is pointing and just like fuck off in a direction. It can be pretty funny sometimes. It can lead to so much trouble. Alright, it's nighttime now, so I'll probably start getting stuff spawn around. I love that Snowland is so bright. Yeah, I know, Grim, you're pretty good at like calling out when I'm going the wrong way. It's good. And you're pretty polite about it too, which I always really appreciate as well. Is it making stone... What is it? Making stone walls sounds like multi-metal sheets, giving me whiplash. Shadow, you did not see me cutting down trees. Hold up, here's one. Watch this. Listen to this. You ready? Hold up, that one is almost dead. I need to find one that's not almost dead. Maybe over here. It's got to be at some distance. Nah, you're pretty polite, Grim. I tend to find like sometimes I read emotion into like conversation and stuff like that into text, and I sometimes respond like I've listened back to some of my videos, and Sometimes I respond and I sound so fucking hostile, and I don't mean to be, but my brain's just like interpreted something. All right, let's do this again. Listen. Yeah, so if you think that like upgrading stuff sounds weird, at least I'm not like cutting down trees again. I know. I know. Look, it's one of those things in this game that who knows who had the fucking decision in the sound room to make that call, but that's what's